Welcome to Faith-Filled Motherhood, where real talk meets real faith. I'm Carly.
And I'm her twin sister, Brooke. Each week, we dive into the heart of motherhood through the lens of grace, hope, and truth.
Whether you're in the carpool line, folding laundry, or maybe you're on your way to work, we're here to walk this journey with you.
We're so glad you're here with us today. You're listening to Faith-Filled Motherhood.
Well, welcome back to Faith-Filled Motherhood. We are on episode 9, and we are just going to carry on from our conversation last week where we had my husband sharing about his divorce and the way that God was with him through every step of it. The way that he had felt so close to God in some of the darkest, hardest times, and just the way that God's working in his life now through our marriage. And something that we really, especially at the end of the conversation, felt strongly about was having Brooke share the kind of flip side of divorce and the way that God can still work in your life, and it doesn't take marriage. Remarriage is not the end goal and the golden ticket in the pain of divorce. It's staying close to Jesus. So we are excited to have Brooke share this week with us just about her story and where she's at, and just testifying of how God has been with her through every part of her journey, through marriage and divorce and single motherhood. And today you just shared, I loved your post today about Christmas and your tree behind you. And I loved that it was like about putting your tree up, but it was really about like the way that God has come through season after
that.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's where you want to start, but yeah, just wherever you want to start with, whether you want to like go back and
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could talk about the tree because it's behind me, the elephant in the room. Actually, the elephant in the room is over on this side.
and over there. And
I have a lot of elephants in my house. But yeah, I posted last night because I came out to the living room to read something in my Bible real quick. And I was like contemplating sleeping out here last night because it's just so peaceful with the tree and quiet house. And it just got me thinking about like the reason I get a lot of hate for putting my tree up on Halloween. But first of all, I hate Halloween.
Excuse me.
Bless you. I hate Halloween. And second of all, I love Christmas. So weird. And it's like the whole Christmas season. And so I just shared how I guess I'll just share the whole gist of it. But growing up, our dad made us wait to put up our Christmas tree until after our birthday, which is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember like wanting to put it up so bad, but as soon as it went up, it was like, oh, the Christmas season has begun. And no matter how crazy our lives were, like, and I don't have a whole lot of memories from our childhood. I don't know why, but the memories I do have of like Christmas are always like, the beautiful tree and presents under it, and just like the joy and the peace, regardless of life's situations. And that has just like carried forward into my adult life.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what chaos is going on, the lights, Christmas lights in general, like bring me so much joy. Like, one of my friends was on a live today on TikTok, and I was commenting, and Shyla from church, and she was like asking how we celebrate the Christmas season. And I was like, we go look at lights as often as that and at as many places as possible for the whole Christmas season. So I put it up because it's just a reminder of like the peace that comes no matter what is going on around me,
Yeah.
So I thought you were going to say something.
Huh?
I thought you were going to say something.
No. Well, I was just going to say, little side note is that Dad did make us wait because he wanted us to have like our birthday.
Yes.
Separate from like Christmas. But in that, I mean, we can get to this probably later on, but in your post, you were talking about all of the ways that like God had provided for you, especially in like the holiday season, it seemed like. But we could get to that after, I guess. So because it kind of has to do with like where you are now, there's like stuff leading up to that. So let's go back to, I know you shared a little bit about it a couple episodes ago. But if you want to just share a little bit more about like, you got married at what age and kind of however much detail you want to give, and then, like leading up to your divorce and why you are where you are now.
Yeah. Let me just start by saying, like, after we talked, or I shared my first testimony, not like, my story, the Brooke story episode. I was talking to our brother after that episode dropped, and he was like, it was good. And we were talking and stuff. And I was like, did I make it sound like it was like, if you're not happy, get divorced? And he's like, a little, but I know like that's not your heart. And I was like, see, that was like the one thing after that episode that I was like, I so hope that people don't think that I was like, I wasn't happy, so we just got divorced, and I'm not going to go into the details as to why we got divorced. But I will say that like there were years of trying, and we were only married for 5 years. And like the whole 5 years we were trying to make the marriage work. So I say that to just say like I would hope nothing in my story would be like an encouraging thing to get a divorce, because it doesn't, it's just a different hard. You choose your hard.
And we said that in the episode that we did last week too with Kyle. Like, we don't like encourage divorce. Divorce hurts God's heart. And it's not like, you should never look at marriage as like your first run or your first try. You know what I mean? Like a trial run, or I'll figure it out the next time. Yeah.
So I was 20. Yes, I was 20 when we got married. And we had been friends for a couple of years. We were like good friends without like the title of like boyfriend, girlfriend for a while. But his ex-girlfriend was pregnant with his kid, and I was not trying to come into the middle of anything.
I always forget that part.
Yeah. They were already broken up when I met him, even just like as a friend, but actually they were broken up when he found out she was pregnant. But I was just like, if there's any chance, I do not want to be the person that comes in between that. So we just stayed as like really good friends that did like everything together. And then I like just stepped back because like baby was about to be born, and I was just like, I think that there might be something. And I did my own thing, and I dated other people. And then after his son was born, after our uncle passed away, we like reconnected. And quickly I was just like, well, if we're gonna do this thing, like I want to like do it. I don't want to like do this like back and forth thing.
Yeah, like commit or don't.
So we quickly got engaged after that, and because we were married a year after our uncle passed, a year and a week, and so we went from like officially dating to getting engaged and married pretty quickly. And we were two very, very broken people who were just trying to, like I said, literally from even before we got married, trying to make it work, which is not a healthy start. to any relationship, but especially a like lifelong commitment.
Yeah. Like we tell teenagers all the time, like you don't have to make it work if you're not married. Like if it's work already, I mean, don't give up on people just quickly or at the drop of the
because
hat.
it's hard doesn't mean it's not worth it, but it shouldn't always. And it wasn't always hard. I think he listens to our podcast, so I don't want to like offend.
Yeah.
It's not like it was always hard, but it just was not. It was very clear that it was like us forcing something.
Mm-hmm.
And we were great friends, but it just did not translate into our marriage.
Yeah.
So we got our own place after 6 months of being married. We had been living with his parents. And then I had always said I wanted to wait to have kids till I was in my 30s. Because I wanted to like work and, you know, have a career and like all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I said it out loud. I don't think I ever talked about really having kids, but that was like,
I don't know, like you thought you couldn't or you weren't going to be able to for a while.
Oh yeah, for a long time I thought I wouldn't be able to have kids, which is weird. Clearly that was not the case. But I also just had it like a plan in my mind, like get married, you know, the like success, like I was like I had a good like corporate world job and I was, you know, and all that. But then I married somebody that already had a kid, and so
excuse me, sorry, podcasting sick is fun.
I was gonna say Carly is sick, so
I sound different and okay.
But I will say we are not hearing your sneezes really come through, so that's a plus.
Good.
So I married somebody that had a kid already, and we had him every other weekend, and I got like a taste of what it was like to be like that motherly figure, and I was like, that's it, I want one. So when we got our own place after being married for 6 months, we very quickly got pregnant and had our firstborn a year and a half after we got married. So, and then from there we had 2 more children, and there were several times where we almost like ended in that 5-year time frame. I have very vivid memories of like when Kaylee was a baby, thinking like this is not how marriage is supposed to be. And then we had our second 2 years later, and then we were very close to calling it quits, and then we found out we were pregnant with our son. And so I of course was like, well, maybe this is God's like way of like, you guys
bring it back together
and we tried again, and then we officially split when my son was 8 months old. So we were officially married, like not officially, we were like living together married for like 5.5 years. And then we were officially divorced a couple years later, because right after we split, COVID hit. And it was like wild. And even like through the first couple years of our divorce, we had tried to make it work still, and kind of got back together for a little while, but it didn't work.
The courts aren't letting us, so let's see if it works again.
Like the courts are closed, so maybe we should
maybe it's meant to be.
But I think that just is like, we both didn't want to allow our marriage to fail, like especially me coming from like a long line of generational divorces on one side of our family, and so determined to like break that generational chain, and like wanting to do better for my kids. And then his parents being married, you know, and like he didn't want to be the one to get divorced and have a failed marriage. So we like kept trying, you know, but in the end, there were just things that there was forgiveness, but forgiveness doesn't always mean full reconciliation. and that was a hard pill, I think, for both of us to swallow.
Mhm.
But we did, and I will say, like, I said this before, we co-parent very well,
Mhm.
so well that people are like, well, why don't you guys get back together? Because co-parenting is not parenting is not the
Yeah.
only thing that matters in a marriage.
Yeah.
So
And sometimes you can, well, I hesitate to say you can do better, but sometimes
we definitely parent better
I was
separate
gonna
than we
say
did
sometimes you can
together.
parent, but yeah, because you're not,
Um,
because then that's your only focus is
yeah.
the parenting of the kid and
Mhm.
not everything else that gets mixed into it.
Yeah.
Um, so I often forget that Matthew was so young, so young.
And my middle Lexi, she had just turned, so she turned 2 in October and we moved out in November. So she was just barely 2.
Yeah, that's how young Briella was when we split. Well, she was almost 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine having like a baby. That's
I was 25 and a single mom of 3 kids, 4 and under.
amazing. Not amazing like to be.
It's
But
like wild to think about. I was just thinking about that yesterday. I was looking at pictures and I was like, that showed up in like my featured photos or whatever. And I was
mhm,
like, they were so little and I was so young. I mean,
mhm.
that was 6 years ago this
Yeah,
month. So
yeah. Mid-20s is completely different than like 30s.
it
Um,
is like just like the amount of life that I've lived now in the last 6 years or even
yeah,
just the last 10
especially
years.
because of all of that. Like,
And just the world, like COVID and
yeah,
all the things. I think
COVID and jobs and
we all
creativity
lived decades in the last 6 years.
for real. Um, I love that. I don't love. I don't love that you were 25 and divorced and single momming of 3 kids, 4 and under. I don't love that at all. But I do love that because of all of that, like the effect that you are able to have, not just like in ministry and just sharing like what God's done, but like especially in your job.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy that God put you in a job like that.
Yeah.
So,
It's been
like that's a piece of God's redemption in my opinion. Like
it is. And
redeeming that story.
yeah. And there's I when I started working at the clinic, I am still the only single mom in the clinic. And so it allowed me to minister to girls differently than
Mhm.
I am a firm believer that like anybody can help anybody.
Yeah.
You don't have to have walked through that same thing, but um it's funny, like our advocates would be like, well, you should talk to Brooke because Brooke is a
Mhm.
single mom of 3 kids and she can,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and so and he totally did use me, especially in one client that I could think of that was
Mhm.
like contemplating
Yeah.
her relationship the whole time and just all these things. And
Mhm.
I've never said like you should do it alone, but I have said like
You can.
you can do it alone. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just it's like a domino effect of what God did in your life in the way that he has like shown up for you as a single mom over the last 6 years and the ability to like trust in him and what he's doing. And
Mhm.
then now so then you did you hear that? Loud cars. Um huh?
I don't think I heard it.
Wow, that's impressive. Good job, Mikes.
These are much better than our original mics.
Yeah. Um, so just seeing like the way that he has shown up in your life, the way that you have learned, like it wasn't just always like rainbows and butterflies trust, like right, like you had to practice and work, because like faith and trust is like a muscle that has to be like worked. And so
Mhm.
you did that, you did the work, and then now 6 years later you get to talk to other women, you know, and then that's planting that seed in them, and then that's like God redeeming their stories and their brokenness, you know, through your faithfulness, and it just like keeps, and then that's just like a generational thing that
Yeah.
goes on to your kids and their kids and so on.
Yeah. Totally. It's wild. Huh?
Just sneezing, not
Oh.
sneezing, holding in a sneeze.
It is wild because the whole, I mean, even like as teenagers, like we saw God move, and I think my trust in him to provide has always been there.
Yeah.
But even though I trusted him to provide, I still wanted to like control things and make sure that I had things in order. And I knew that, like, you know, if God decided all of a sudden he didn't want to provide,
You were
then
gonna be just
that I
fine.
had it covered, you know.
Yeah.
Like, just in case you forget about me, God, I have a
Yeah.
plan, which is so stupid. But um yeah, so like this job in particular, that was a huge trust thing, and trusting God to not move to South Carolina and see what he has for me and all of that. But the ways that God has provided for me through being a single mom has just like, at one point I had like a running list in my phone of like all the blessings
Oh,
from that year. And there were so many, like, from such unexpected sources, from like somebody paying for me to get new tires, somebody blessing us with money for different things. And when I got divorced, when we first split, I was working very, very part-time, like making $700 a month or something.
Yeah.
And at that point I was getting some child support too. But like, just the fact that I was able to have it was a small 2-bedroom apartment, but we had an apartment. And Matthew was so little. Matthew shared a room with me, and then the girls had a room. There's several reasons that point to why he is so attached to me. And why he's a stage 10 clinger still. But he's sweet, so it's okay.
Most of the time.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Half the time. Just kidding. I said half the time. He's a Sour Patch Kid.
The definition of a Sour Patch Kid. But I think I had seen God move so much that I knew it would all be okay. And so my kids have been able to see, like, at such a young age, God move and provide. And they've gotten to see him provide not just for their needs, but for their wants too.
Yeah.
Like, above and beyond anything that we deserve or need to function.
Yeah.
And they've also seen me work hard for things too. Like, that is something, like, I am, without being prideful, I am proud about. You know, that they're seeing mom like work hard for things, and because and I think that goes hand in hand with God's blessings. Like, when you work hard and you do what you need to do and you're striving to do the best that you can do, like, God rewards that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than just sitting around waiting for him to make things happen for you.
Yeah, because I mean, there's so many different ways that both of ours, all of our journeys could have gone, you know. But the ability to, I think it's I think that it's like a skill, but a blessing too, to be able to balance, like you're saying, like, not just hold on and take control, but to trust Jesus and trust that God's in control, trust that he's going to provide, but also like make the moves. Like, I feel like so many people will just sit on the couch and be like, yeah, I'm trusting that God is going to do this, or I trust that God's going to do that, or I want God to use me like this, but they're not ever willing to like get up off the couch and go do what he needs them to do, right? And actually like put one foot in front of the other. And then there on the flip side, there's people who are like running full speed ahead, not pausing long enough to ask Jesus, like, what is it that you want me to do? Or how do you want to provide for me? Or which door do you want me to walk through? So finding that like that Jesus balance of like,
Yeah, totally.
hand in hand, let's go.
That was me going to South Carolina. I was like, full steam ahead. We are making this happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, wait, maybe that's not where he wants me. God,
And
where
God
do
was
you
like,
want me?
slam the door. That's not where I want you.
He's like, how many doors do I need to close?
He's
Like,
like,
thank you for catching on.
just turn around
Yeah.
and walk out.
My goodness. Can you imagine if I moved and left you?
And left me.
That'd be sad.
That would be. I was just thinking about that when you were saying that. I think you already said something about possibly moving there or whatever. Like how different life would be, not just for like you, and you would be thriving, your kids would be thriving, but just like I was thinking about all the different things we have done in the last like 3 years, just like looking at a million Christmas lights or all the different things.
Yeah. And really, I think about all the things they would have missed out on with their dad, even too, or like he missed out on. And he was, I will say this so that nobody thinks I'm a terrible human being that just doesn't care about people. He was on board. He did not love the idea of the move, but he understood and supported it and then was planning to follow a couple years later. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like I was just like taking the kids.
Yeah, you weren't just like snatching them away and he wasn't just like, sure, go, I don't care. Like,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We had talked about it in great depth, but God made it easier for us.
Slamming doors.
Slam doors closed.
He was like, well, I'm so glad you had all these conversations. That was nice.
Yeah. Some rough conversations too.
Oh my gosh. We could go there, but we won't.
Or we could. I don't want to slander anybody.
No.
To that, I will say, I think our co-parenting relationship has been easier because it primarily has just been the two of us co-parenting. Neither of us, he dated for a little while. But I think not having outside opinions has definitely helped because 4 hands in the pot. Is that the right hands in the pot? Is that the right metaphor?
Yes. That's
a lot messier than
I ask. Huh? That's a question that I ask.
I know.
The right way to say that.
But just thinking about like God's redemption and how oftentimes it's looked at as like a new marriage. Like I will say, I did not. It's weird because like I didn't want to get remarried, but I also did not anticipate being single for 6 years. So
yeah, you weren't like ever really just like, okay, this is what I want. But you were.
It was kind of like I was like, I don't want to get married, but God will show me and He'll bring me.
Exactly. It's like you were expecting it to just happen, kind of like, here it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So 6 years into like fully single mom mode was not what I anticipated. However, I will say like my kids and I are so close because it's just like me and them.
Yeah.
I am really involved with all of their things because
really, really involved.
Well, yeah. But
how involved?
How involved? I've coached their sports. I've done the team mom thing a lot.
I think you coached 3 teams at once, 2 teams and team mom at once.
No.
Yes.
I can't coach that many. No, I coached basketball and then I was team momming for 2 teams, but sharing the duties for one of the teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
For baseball and softball. But then
Very, very, very involved in everything they do.
every year I say I'm not going to coach basketball anymore. And my oldest is the one I've coached for the last 3 years. And she's not playing this year. And so I was like, I'm cool. Like, just Matthew wanted to play and I wasn't going to coach.
Yeah.
And then Lexi was like, no, I want to play again. And so I was like, okay, I'll coach Lex, because when I went to sign her up, there was a wait list.
So naturally.
And there were 10 kids on that wait list. And so naturally, I said, looks like you need a coach so that all those kids can play. And they did. And then in talking to the lady, I was like, so do you guys have enough coaches for the boys, first and second grade boys? And she said, let me look. Oh,
Why
no.
would you even ask that? What would prompt you to ask such a question?
Because I knew they didn't, because they never have enough coaches. And usually the kids that get signed up last don't get on a team if there's not enough coaches.
Yeah.
So even if you signed up last, but you're coaching, then your kid automatically gets on a team.
It's cheating.
And my mindset is I have to be at all the games and practices anyways. So if I have the skills and ability,
Not necessarily.
yeah. If I have, I'm not going to not go to the games. And
Well, yeah, but the practices.
unless they're on a Wednesday night, then, and
Wow.
even still, like, I like to go to the practices
Yeah.
when I can. So I'm like, okay, if I coach, then that gives me more control on what nights they have practices and things. So
It's all a control thing.
it is. And being a team mom is so much harder than being a coach. So
Being a team mom is?
yeah,
Why?
because you have to deal with the parents
Don't
and
do
like
coaches.
plan the end of the season parties and get well, in basketball in first and second grade, the league gives them participation trophies, but so you don't have to do that. Anyways, it's just,
I don't get why you got the team. Anyways.
soccer team medals.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked about that on a live the other night on TikTok.
Where have you been for all these? Sleeping?
Not on the lives with me.
Sleeping? Sick?
I don't know where you were. Probably hanging out with your husband or with the kids. But I was just saying how we live in such a participation award society. However, I will not get them trophies as a participation, because a trophy is something you get for winning.
Yes.
So the medals, like I get like the like wanting to have something to like memorialize the season. So the medals don't say, I actually told mom this the other day. I was like, I almost got ones that said like champs. And I was like, but they weren't champs. They literally won one game.
Literally were not.
So
Not the Biggest Loser.
yeah, they have a soccer ball and a cleat on the front and they're cute. And they just say like their team name and the year and stuff. So
Oh, very cute.
that was such a tangent, but I don't support participation awards. It's one thing for like first and second graders. It's like
I support competitiveness.
yeah, same.
Um,
Not all parents feel the same, I've learned through the last week.
I've never volunteered to do any of those things. Well, I coached one year.
Yeah, you coached T-ball with me.
Yeah. But no team momming.
I've had fun coaching. I coached T-ball with you. I coached T-ball with Austin.
I had fun too. If I could, I would coach.
2 out of 3 of my years coaching basketball was with Sean.
Yeah.
This year will be weird because it's the first year I don't have a roster that I requested, because I don't know who's even
I think I should assistant coach for Matthew with you.
What about Lex?
I said I think I should assistant coach Matthew with you.
What about Lex?
They're older.
No, they're all first. They're both in first. This is why I could do it, because they're in the same league, just different boys and girls.
They do co-ed at that age, no?
No, kindergarten only. They do co-ed. Yeah. So, all of that to say, I spend all my time either at work or with my kids, And if I were
All that
dating,
to say, that little tangent to say.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, you're
All
good.
of that to say, God has blessed me with a lot of time to spend with my kids. And I choose to look at it as like, if he brings me somebody, like it will be a blessing, but also, and I think Sean's actually the person that told me this is like, I know you're like ready, but just keep thanking God for all the time that you have with your kids and like how intentional you're able to be with your kids because they're my whole world, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and then there's that whole like when you get married, your husband's supposed to be the number one. Like, how the heck do you make somebody the number one when your kids have been your number one?
We talked about that.
And like when you're married, when you do it the right way and you get married and then you have kids, like that's more natural because spouse came first, then the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've spent the last, and who knows when I get married, like I could be another 10 years. That means I spent 16 years putting my kids as number one, and then I'm supposed to like shift that. And I trust that God will help me do that, but that
Not
seems
like
impossible.
ditch that is not the.
No, I said switch that.
Oh, they said just ditch that.
No, switch that like mindset though.
Yeah.
I don't know. You did it. It can be done.
Yeah. But my kids were so young too. It's just different.
Yeah. And you weren't like it wasn't just you and them for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
And they knew him and like their relationship was so good, and that's not always, I don't think that, I think when it comes to like being remarried, I think that obviously there has to be like a good relationship with the kid and the new spouse. But I don't think it has to be like what I have necessarily.
And I don't think it would I mean, who knows? God is the only one that knows. But like I value my kids' relationship with their not to say that you don't value I'm not trying to say that like because your kids are close to Kyle that you don't value their relationship with their dad. But I think that we've done it this way for so long that like it would be a lot harder for the kids, for Jordan, everybody involved for like somebody to come in and like take the place of like that same level, which you, like the four of you have like established, it's like they call you guys mom and dad at both places and, so it's like equal or fair. It's not like they're just calling.
Yeah, it is equal, but it's a very split feeling because as grateful as I am that they have that with him and that they feel so comfortable at their other house with both parents, it's like I'm so grateful that they have this relationship, but then on the other hand, it's like still, I mean, I don't know how long they've been, but she's been there pretty much as long as we've been married. So like 7 years of having to like share that title. 7 years in, and I think it's just getting harder, not easier.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting feeling because as I like wouldn't trade the relationship that they have with Kyle and Kyle has with them, even though that's not, and I know that that's not like replacing their dad at all. It's like completely separate in their minds. It's like completely separate family, home, everything. And so I know that like in their minds, they're not replacing anyone. And I know that they're not replacing their dad. And I have to remind myself that like they're not replacing me
Yeah.
either, and there is like a special, I think, and I don't even know if they realize this yet. But when you have like a decent, healthy relationship with all four parents, like there is still a special place, I believe, for like the birth parents, you know, hopefully.
Yeah.
I hold on to that just a little bit, you know, but I just, yeah, I think it could go so many different ways when you get remarried. And I think overall we have it pretty good with, pretty blessed that I have like the situation that I do, you know. Like he just spent the weekend with my girls and your girls, you know, and he was up till 11 or so last night working on a project with Trin, and they love, you know, they love him, and the fact that like my girls feel comfortable staying the weekend, you know what I mean? Like I'm not even there and they're not even phased by it because they're hanging out with dad, you know, like.
Yeah. It's very special.
But that's not, I don't feel like that's like as common and to be expected, you know.
Yeah. I think there's probably an aspect of it too of like whether or not the new spouse has their own kids coming into the marriage, or
Yeah,
you know. So
all kinds of factors.
it's just like I said, I not planned on being single for this long, but also I did not plan on being single for this long. I very much go back and forth, like what would be better,
Yeah.
having a spouse or being single. I think probably having a spouse, but
But I think people are built differently too. And I hate like admitting this, but I am not as independent as you are. And I don't think I ever have been as much as I wish I was. You know, like you, like when we got cancer, when I got cancer,
Carly, I'm 31 years cancer free. Don't put that on me.
like when I got cancer, we were twins, and I think up until then we were always together. You know, like we had the same friends, we did everything, same sports, everything. And then when I got cancer, my life just kind of
Stopped.
stopped and kind of um excelled in, like, not excelled. I feel like in so many ways it stopped, and I kind of just got a glimpse of like, I don't know. Life was just different, right? Like things were just different for me.
Yeah.
And then for you, you got to like at that time when my life was like just weird and just different, like you got to be independent. Like you went to school, you know, made your own friends, did your own thing, became your own person, and
Got our own house.
yeah.
Sounded-
Yeah. And then like in high school, I got in a serious relationship at 16 years old and got pregnant and
Yeah.
married at 18, you know, and then into a family that was like very involved. It's not like it was just the two of us, you know, and then you were like in the AmeriCorps, going line dancing every weekend, going to beauty school for a while, you know, like all of the different things.
Dropping out of beauty school.
Yeah, independently. So I just I think people are just built differently too. So I think that some of us could thrive in single motherhood and some of us can thrive in, not that you can't do both. Like I'm not saying like when you get married you're not going to be thriving as much.
Hopefully.
And not that like God couldn't have provided for me and help, you know, for longer and I would have been just fine, but I just think that we're just built different too, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be thriving like you are.
I'm glad you think I'm thriving. 30, flirty, and thriving.
Yes.
Remember you posted that for our 30th birthday?
I was just thinking that. Yes, I did. I'll do it again for 32.
Oh gosh.
32 to ready to become 2.
That's funny. That's funny.
I couldn't think of a rhyme for it.
But I keep losing my train of thought here.
And this is what happens when we
Just have conversations.
tired, sick
Why-
after a long weekend,
Eye is so itchy.
long day.
all of that to say that, yes, I would love to get married. I'd love to show my kids a good, healthy, Christ-centered marriage. But like I said, they have seen him move. They have seen his goodness and his grace and his provision and his power over like this. Back to the post, like literally every Christmas has brought unexpected blessings. The first one, our first Christmas, like we had literally just moved out, and it was, I don't remember like anything specific happening other than like we were so loved and cared for, and and even that Christmas
that people brought you gifts and like it was way more than
no.
Oh.
But it was like our first Christmas separated, and I think I had Matthew more, and it's just like it was hard, but it was okay. And it was like, and I think that in and of itself is like God's provision, because to like get separated a month before Christmas, and have little children, and the next year our upstairs neighbor's house flooded into our apartment, and we had to move out of our apartment like right before Christmas. And we were going to go to a hotel, but my friend was like, I'm going to be in Arizona at my mom's if you want to stay at the house. And so we were able to spend Christmas morning in a house, and then we went to the hotel like the next day. And that was huge because like who wants to spend Christmas in a hotel with no tree or and so she wasn't going to decorate the tree and like all this stuff because she's going to be gone, so she like decorated the tree and she got the kids some gifts, and it was just so sweet. The next year another single mom who was like really young and living with her parents, like her parents were well off and she was well provided for, and she wanted to bless another single mom, and so they had given or reached out to somebody that knew me.
That was it. Yeah.
And got my information and like majorly blessed my kids, like not just like little toys, but like really cool things and things that they had wanted, like not just picking out random things, but like they asked like what they liked, and like it was such a huge blessing.
I'm sure for them too. That's so special.
It was really like the girl was so like, and her parents gave me cash, like a good amount of cash. And I was just like blown away. Then the next year there was something else I can't remember. Oh, Carly asked our family to like pitch in, and they gifted tickets and a hotel room to me and the kids to go to Disneyland the next month.
So fun to do.
So that was huge because that's something like, that makes me, it like gets me emotional because like we never went without, like, and I have said this too, like the kids and I, it's not like we just stay at home and eat every single meal at home and don't, like, they get to play sports. We go out to eat, not like every day, but we go out and we go to the movie. Like we have a well-rounded life, but something like Disneyland would like never happen. Ever. And that was such a huge blessing, and the kids were like so excited. Their dad even joined us on that trip. I told him that if he paid his own way, he could come and experience their first Disneyland experience. And though we fought while there, people actually were like, are you gonna get back together? When they found out, I was like, that was a reminder of like, we don't work well. But the kids were so
the fact that he got to like experience that. Yeah.
They were so happy to have both of us there, and that's all they're going to remember, and I think he appreciated being included and being able to be there. And then this last Christmas was like the biggest of all because
what's going to happen this year?
I know, huh? But the cool thing is like, it's not like I expect something. And so if nothing happens, like,
Yeah.
the fact that I'm even sitting in this home is like blessing enough to last me an entire lifetime.
Yeah.
This exact home and living room that I'm sitting in, I specifically prayed for 3 years. And I'm not saying like I prayed every day for it, but for like 3 years,
Yeah.
I prayed for this home because Carly's pastors, who were my pastors at the time, were renting it. And we knew other people who had previously rented it, and the owners are Christians, and they keep the rent really low, and they just use it as an opportunity for a little income, but to bless people that
Mhm.
can use
Yeah,
that
it could be rented way more than it is. Like,
it could
cost.
be double what
Yeah.
I'm paying for it.
Mhm.
And so I had been praying for years, and I found out that the pastors were getting had bought a house, and then it sat vacant for like a few months, and so I was like, well, it's probably not going to happen. Like, I was like starting to lose hope. And then I got a text. Literally, we were putting our Christmas tree up, which, surprise, it was beginning of November. So it was a little early. It was November 3rd. And
It's
we
a
were
little
putting
late for you.
it is late because we usually do it Halloween. So it was 3 days late. And I'm sure my kids had been asking for 3 days when we were going to put the tree up. But I was kind of holding off because I was like, I was really wanting this house. And so
Mhm.
I think that is actually why I had held off for a few days. But then I got a text. Actually, it was because Carrie was like, hey, we put your name in. Like, they're getting
Oh,
ready
yeah.
to rent it out. And so I was like, yay. Like, and so I was like holding off, like, because I was hoping. But then I didn't hear anything. And so I finally was like, okay, let's put the tree up. And the
Mhm.
very day that we put our tree up, the kids were literally putting ornaments on the tree. And I get a text from the owner of the house. And it's like, we got your information. We'd love to meet you. And like all of this stuff. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, God definitely has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And so we went back and forth, and they originally denied me right up front because my credit score, she wasn't even going to pass my application along to her parents, who are
Mhm.
the owners, and she's the manager of it. Because my credit score was, guys, it was 4 points under what they were looking for. But I get, when you have a bunch of applicants, like, credit score is an easy way to just weed
Weed them
through.
out. Yeah.
Um, and I just was like, God, I just feel like this is where, like, I've been praying for this house. Why have I been praying for this house for 3 years to like get to this, and then nothing, you know?
Mhm.
And so I,
4 points under.
yeah, so I sent her an email just explaining my situation and like why. I was like, I won't go into all the financial details, but like the reasons why I
Oh,
had
that's
been in debt,
wonderful. Yeah.
like the hardships, and this is why, and so she was
Mhm.
like, okay, I'll pass along this information. And anyways, through all of that, somebody blessed me with the deposit money. Like, I could afford this place, but I didn't have money saved up for like a deposit because I didn't think,
You
well,
weren't
one, I
planning
just
on it. Yeah.
don't really have a whole lot to like be putting into savings, but I just wasn't like anticipating it at all either. Um, and so somebody blessed me with the deposit money, and we moved in the week of Christmas last year. And through everything, like, I unpacked in a day, um, and got ready for Christmas, and then we hosted our first like holiday family gathering here on Christmas Eve
Mhm.
or Christmas Day, I forget. But it was such a blessing, and the kids were like on cloud nine. And even still to this day, I mean, it's been almost a year, but they're like, I can't believe God blessed us with this house. Like, I can't believe we
Mm.
have a house. Like, going from always living in apartments to having a house where they're running around the backyard
Yeah.
constantly, and the girls have their own room, and Matthew has his own space. And yeah, so God just keeps showing up and showing off and providing above and beyond anything I could hope or imagine for.
Mhm.
And there's no other explanation. There's nobody else that could possibly get the glory for the
Yeah.
fact that we are thriving as a little family that we have. We are well taken care of. Um, and my kids are happy, well-adjusted children, and usually they're pretty well-adjusted children.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I mean, today I was stressed. Time change. I was like, I feel like the last 3 hours is taking 10 hours, but like I am happy and not like lacking.
Yeah.
And that's solely due to God's presence in our lives.
Yeah. And it's a neat thing because every time God does something in our lives, it's not just for us. So I just love, like, your kids are seeing it, other people, like our family, and people at work, and then now anyone listening to this or wherever, you know what I mean? Like, just when we when we trust God and we allow Him to show off in our lives, and show up, and then not just bask in the glory of it, but then turn around and like share the glory, um that's just super neat. Like the first Christmas, like last Christmas, having everyone in your house was so cool, and it was so cool for like all of our family, not just you. Like, it was cool for all of our family to get to see.
Every grandparent that walked in the door was like, just so, it was neat to see. Like, it was majorly blessing me, but I could tell it was like a blessing to them to get to see, like,
Yeah, it's a blessing when you to you when you get to see people that you care about be blessed and thrive and grow, and
yeah.
and because they've seen you trust God through it all,
And I'll say, like, we are so blessed to have the family that we have, and the grandparents that we do that pray for us and encourage us and support us, like
show up for stuff. And
it's that, I don't know why everything makes me emotional tonight, but
it's the Christmas lights behind you.
It's the Christmas joy. That's probably the ring light in front of me shining in my eyeballs. But it's such a sweet blessing to like know that you have people praying for you, and then the people that are praying for you get to like witness the glory that God is doing. And
it's all that just little, like, just part of the praying. I always say that, like, even if you can't do anything, like, even if I can't physically provide all this stuff for you, right? Like, I get to partner with God in the blessing by like praying that into your life, and like praying that over you, and praying that over your kids, and anyone, like, getting to pray. When you actually are intentional about praying for people, you're like literally partnering with God and what He's going to do in and through you and the people around you.
Yeah, for sure. It's exciting.
It's a blessing. Yep. Well, do you have any?
Now people are praying that I find a husband. I hear that all the time.
We're all partnering with that.
I hear it all the time from many people.
Not that you need one.
No.
I just want you to have some, like, for your, like, never mind. There's no good way to say this. If I say for your sake, that doesn't sound nice.
I think people see that I am like in a place where I'm ready. And so now everybody like is like keeping my eye out for you. I'm praying for you
to have someone.
God's bringing you someone.
You're like, oh, good.
Even though your great aunts got widowed and remarried very quickly, and you're still single. No.
All in God's timing, right?
All in God's timing. That's what my grandma keeps telling me. All in God's timing. It's very true.
Which is true. Well, any final encouragement or thoughts?
If you are a single parent.
Oh yeah, we said this is all talking about single mom, but this all applies
to single parents.
I mean, this is faithful motherhood. but I don't know how many single dads are going to be listening. But if there is, like, obviously this is for you too.
For you. Yeah. If you are a single parent, as hard as it is to not focus on what you're lacking, and especially in the day, like I would be lying if I said like in the day in life things, like cooking and cleaning and doing homework and like getting it all done on your own. Like it's so easy to be longing for like that helpmate and somebody to be there and to focus on like the suckiness of having to do it alone.
How much better it would be, or easier it would be, or yeah.
And I think the hardest thing, and I think a lot of people, my pet peeve is when people compare solo parents to single parents. And I'm not saying that being a solo parent isn't hard. Like,
explain what that is.
A solo parent is like, it's more typically women whose husbands work out of town for the week and then they're back on the weekends, or maybe they're in the military or, things like that. And those things are definitely hard. And you're missing that physical help throughout the week or while your spouse is gone.
Connection. Yeah.
But you still have somebody that you can emotionally lean on, that can spiritually help, and you can lean on financially help. And as a single parent, like I don't have somebody like at the end of the day that I can like debrief my create. I get on TikTok live now and I debrief with them now.
Yeah.
But it's really, that is the number one struggle of a single parent, is not having that emotional support to like just get through the day ins and day outs, of life. But if you are a single parent and you're struggling with those things, because that's just a reality, like lean into God, lean into your village around you and your family and your friends. And it's so easy to like it's easy for me to just like isolate and be like, well, this is just life. It's just me. And just I don't need to have emotions. I can just move on.
This is just great.
It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's
I love
fine.
it all. Wouldn't trade a thing.
Yeah. But just try your best to not focus on where you're lacking and focus on, I can guarantee you there's blessings in your life if you open your eyes to see them and allow God to use your story to bless others.
Yeah, that's a good reminder for everyone, like we all, I mean, I guess I can't say all, but like I know I do and I know others do, just get caught up in like what we don't have or what we're striving to get to or what we're trying to add, and it robs us of what we do have, where we are at, and what he has done. When you're so focused on like getting to the next thing, or even just like trusting God for the next thing, if you're just always in a mindset of like trusting him for the next thing, and you're never acknowledging acknowledging the things that he has given you.
You're trusting him for the next thing is you constantly asking for the next thing rather than thanking him for the things that he's done.
Yeah. And it's obviously fine, especially when there's like an actual need to like trust God and ask him for things. But I feel like far too often we end up spending way too much time asking. And even just like asking for direction or asking for like good, normal things that we need. But then how much are we like, God, I trust you. I don't even need to ask you again because I know you're at work, and I trust you because you've done this, and that, or you've provided this, and that.
In the message this last Sunday, the preacher lady was saying, that God tells us to be, or the Bible tells us to, which is God's word, tells us to be thankful in all. Huh?
Nothing. I said, thank you for clarifying.
But she said, it doesn't say to be thankful for all things, but to be thankful in all things.
Yeah.
And that is, I was just like I knew that, but like hearing it laid out like that, like you don't have to be thankful that you're a single parent. You don't have to be thankful for the trials that you're going through or thankful for the hardships, but you should be thankful for God's goodness in every single situation and thankful that God is with you in every trial and thankful that his grace is sufficient and his peace surpasses all understanding through each battle, because we live in a world full of hardships. And so it's not like you have to be like, thank you, Lord, that I am sick today and this is your plan. Like, no, his plans for you are for good things and prosperous things. But focus on thanking him in every season, not for every season.
I like that. That's good.
So that's my final thoughts.
That's good.
Somebody else's final thoughts, but they're not my final thoughts.
That's like my favorite song is, and what I feel is like my life. And can I say that?
Goodness of God. And
goodness of God, like all my life, you have been faithful. All my life, you've been so, so good. And it's like your goodness is running after me. I love that because I feel like God, I love that picture of like, we are doing whatever we're doing, whether we're stagnant, whether we're running in one direction, whether we're like praying and striving and trying to reach the next thing, whatever it is, right? Or we're just like distracted, like treading water. All of these different situations, like God is literally just like running next to us, behind us, right there beside us, and being like, look, I have good things for you. Look, I got good things for you, and it's just like, he wants to give us those good things, and they're not always going to look the way that we think that they should, but a good thing could be peace and provision in a bad situation. It doesn't necessarily mean perfect situation. It's the ability to get through that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my eye's been bugging this whole time.
Mine too. Actually, my eyes have been burning this whole time.
Yeah. So irritating. I feel like I look high.
So I hope that you guys were encouraged by my story in some way. And if you need encouragement or you need to just talk to somebody that can relate to what you're going through, like, please
get on Brooke's TikTok lives.
Yeah. Faithful Motherhood on TikTok. I go live almost every night. Which is weird, very weird to say.
Be live.
But yeah, come to my TED Talk every night. No, just kidding. Message us, DM us, email us. Like,
reach out to us if you know us personally.
Yes, if you know us personally, definitely reach out to us. But we love to pray. I spend some of our lives just praying for people, and people send prayer requests, and I write them down, and then I do pray for them. So, and maybe you're not like, I need prayer, but maybe you're just like, will you just agree with me that like this is hard and we can get through this, and I'll do that. So
I love that. I like what you just said about like, sometimes you just need someone to like validate your feelings or tell you like how you feel is understandable, or you know what I mean?
Not
like,
just somebody say like, you'll get through this, but
yeah,
like, yeah, this sucks and
yeah,
we will get through it. But yeah,
we had church staff meeting, and towards the end of it, it was just us and our pastors just chatting, and they're just like, how are you guys doing? And I was just like, I was like, good. And they're like, that's not, no. And I just like opened up about the last 5 weeks since the hysterectomy and
and they know some of the struggles that you have had. And
yeah, I just like, I was like, I probably shared too much. I told Kyle that after, but I just was like, I've been thrown into depression. I didn't realize that I had all these feelings about not being able to have any more baby, like, and all, and I just like foster care, nothing's happening. Like I just laid it all out there, and I was like, and it's all at once, and I want to feel good, but I'm not doing so good. And before they said anything, our pastor was just like, I want to encourage you, but before I say anything, I want to tell you, like, that sucks. And I'm like, sorry that you are going through that. And I'm sorry that it's the way that it is. And like totally just like pause to like bring like sincere
He
understanding.
did or she did? He did?
He did, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they both like she was
Yeah.
like agreeing,
I was just
yeah.
curious.
But he said, yeah. And it was like just bringing sincere understanding to like where I'm at, you know. And then followed up with like their own stories and just trying to encourage, you know, and like obviously the things that we all know is like God is always in control. God is always at work, you know, but it's like sometimes it's like, yeah, I know all these things, but sometimes I just want someone to be like, you're not crazy for having these emotions, or
Yeah.
you know.
And to that I'll say, like, when somebody comes to you and shares their struggles, even if you can relate, you don't need to in turn share. Like, I think that's amazing that he was like, that sucks. And instead of like going right into like, oh, well, we went through this and this is like, you know, we came out on the other side, or like, well,
Yeah.
you might be going through that, but imagine going through this because I went through this. Like, that's not helpful. And so if somebody does come to you,
It is in the right time, but
yeah, but like, don't immediately go from like, oh, well, I heard your story, so now let me like vomit my own story into your life, when instead like that person wants to be heard and validated. If they're sharing something with you, hear it.
Yeah. That's a skill that
Respond, don't react to it.
that's a skill that I think we've lost a lot in our society now, is like the ability to just like hear people. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you for sharing all of that. I love. I love that this is what we were going to talk about, and then you shared that post. And like I said, I love that it was just one. Put your tree up whenever the heck you want to put your tree up, people. I'm here to tell you, that's my final thought. You do you, boo. You do whatever makes you, not what, I don't like that whatever makes you happy, but when it comes to a freaking Christmas tree, do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. But no, just like the goodness of God through, and like I say through the seasons, because that's what it feels like, not just the holiday seasons, but
Yeah.
all the seasons in your life. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think you already gave your closing thoughts, I guess.
I did. Yep.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for listening. We were gonna make this a shorter one, and it ended up probably being one of the longest ones. So thank you for just hanging out with us. And we say it every week, but thank you for coming back and listening. And it's truly wild to me that we have 9 episodes now released. And I think our plan is to do one more in season 1, and then we'll take a little break and come back in season 2 with testimonies. And it's gonna be great. We're excited. So
yeah, it's gonna be powerful, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well,
it will be, because there's power in testimony. So
amen.
Yep. And share it out. Lastly, check out our website with our products.
Yeah.
Pearly has made some really cool items that we would love to sell. So
yes,
check it out. Get somebody a gift for Christmas, and help us fund.
And there will be Christmas stuff up here soon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm so tired. I feel like you can hear it in how I feel like I'm slow. Just
I'm slow.
Which a lot of pausing in the sickness. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting and being here. And pray for the next season, because we believe that they're, like we said, power and testimony, and we believe and we want direction. We want the right people, whoever God wants on here to share. We know so many people, but we want the right people at this time in this season to reach who God wants to reach. So keep us in your prayers as we navigate the next season. But yes, we'll be back for one
and
more.
what we're going to do individually for the next season. So
Yes.
it'll be good.
All right. I was trying to read between what you just said. I was trying to understand that. I was like, see, slow. I'm like, I don't think I fully understood that, but that's okay.
That's all right. All right. Thank you guys. Have a blessed week. We will see you back here next Tuesday at some point, or Wednesday. Sometime next week when the next episode drops. Be blessed and be a blessing.
And walk close to Jesus.
And roll that outro.
Thanks for joining us on Faith-Filled Motherhood. Be sure to follow, share, and check out our website for more opportunities to connect. We'll see you in the next episode.